Well, certainly we were disappointed with the way Saturday's game finished. Looking back, it was we've had a couple of really kind of squirrely games this year, and that was another one. Bottom line is we just didn't make enough plays in the end, and they did. And we ended up with a disappointing loss. But you have to put it behind you and move on just like you would do if you won the game. So, there's nothing else I can say about that game I hadn't already said.
All right. Questions for Coach?
You get to face kind of a different Wake Forest team. They seem a little more competent offensively. The last few years have been a real struggle for them to kind of get it going. What do you see when you look at them on tape?
Well, I think they've got a lot of guys that have played a lot of football on offense. Their quarterback has started for, I guess 3 years or 4. They've got offensive linemen that have played together for a while. They got a dynamic receiver in Dortch who's really a playmaker, really good tight end. And they're doing much better offensively than they have in the past. So it'll be a challenge, certainly.
Just a reminder, please raise your hand. Got a microphone. Can I ask questions?
Defensively, they're pretty stout, especially up front. You get some good defensive linemen.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of what are you seeing from them?
Well, I think they lead the nation in tackles for loss. They're, in the top 20 in scoring defense, and they've been really good on defense for the last couple of years. So, again, it's a big challenge. I think that, the 53, I guess, the defensive end, Ejiofor, gets a lot of pub, and he's a really good player. But the guy's caught our eyes, the other defensive end, Wendell Dunn. I mean, he makes a lot of plays. Good player. The two inside guys are, strong, play with good leverage. And, they're well coached. The linebackers have played. Jabari Williams has played for a long time. He's a senior this year. So they've got a lot of guys that have played a lot of football.
When you talk about the couple of the losses that have been so kind of excruciating, do you worry? Where do you get to a point where you worry about the psyche of your team and it wearing on them and them sort of carrying that forward a little bit when you've had 2 games? I mean, you've been behind for 4 seconds in the second half this year, I believe, and had lost 2 games.
Right.
I mean, that's got to be a little frustrating, not only for you but for the guys.
Yeah, I'm sure it is frustrating, and you hope that it hurts. But you've got to learn to put it behind you and move on. It's, you can't go back and change it. And you just got to talk about why it happened and why you were in that position and all the opportunities you had that we shouldn't have been in that position. I mean, I can go all the way back to the third quarter. I mean, we're up 21-13 and got it first and goal on the 6. You punch it in and you go up 28-13. Hard for them to come back. Then we got all the dang rain where for about a quarter it was hard to even stand up. And then we get it back with 5 minutes to go around midfield. If you take it and make 2 or 3 first downs, you win the game. You punt them out on the 6-yard line or 8-yard line. If you can stop them, you win the game. I mean, we've had all kinds of chances in both games to win, and when it came right to it, we didn't make the critical plays or didn't get it done. So you keep working on it, but it's like I told our team, we're halfway through the season. Since we're only playing 11 games, I would say this is the halfway point. And, you've still got most of the goals in front of you. You don't control them, but as I told them, this is my 10th year. I think there have been 1 year that maybe somebody went undefeated in the Coastal and won the thing with an 8-0 record. Who knows what's going to happen? You win the rest of your games and Virginia Tech beats Miami or Virginia beats Miami or 2 teams beat Miami, and all of a sudden, I mean, we've won the division with a 5-3 record before. So it's you don't know. You just keep playing. And you play, it sounds cliche, but you play one game at a time. You got a conference game at home this week against a really good Wake Forest team, you better get ready to play. Our goal this week's try to get win 4. That's all we care about. Get win number 4. It's all you can focus on. It's all you can control.
Could you, regarding the 1 minute defense, kind of go into what you see as the places where it's not working as well as you want?
Yeah, when the other team goes and scores, it's not working as well. The bottom line is, if you don't stop guys, that don't work. The key to any kind of 2 minute offense or 1 minute offense is getting started. Once you make a first down or 2 and you get some momentum, then it becomes more difficult. We got to try to create some more negative plays, and we got to try to, play tighter. The thing about it was, roughly a little over 2 minutes when they got the ball. At the end, they ran 15 plays. So a lot of those plays were either out of bounds or going for first downs, or you couldn't run 15 plays. So that's the thing you've got to stop. You've got to try to limit that kind of thing. And it's like I said yesterday, sure, you could second guess just about every call of every game. And you can do it on offense and defense or whenever you want to do. It's that magical thing, when it doesn't work, it was a bad call. And if it works, it was a great play. That's just the nature of the game and the way it works. And the truth of the matter is, it's always somewhere in between. There's some of both. There was a few times in that last drive that we had a perfect call on and had a chance to make a big play and didn't. And there was times where we could have been in a better call for what they ran. But that's why you play. They got coaches, we got coaches, they got players, we got players. If you could just say, okay, I'm going to stop the bubble screen, you have to run the bubble screen. What is that, Battleship? I mean, it's like, but that's why you play. You could have a great call and they throw it and the guy makes the guy miss a tackle, and all of a sudden, man, that wasn't a very good call. And then there can be another time where you could be in the worst call ever, and your kid makes an unbelievable play and fights through a blocker and knocks the guy out of bounds and tackles the guy, and they go, man, that was a great call. Same thing on offense. You can call an option play into too many people and they knock everybody down and the guy goes 60 yards and they go, that's a great call. Or you can call it into nobody. I mean, we had a fourth down play where we had the perfect call. Didn't work. They blitzed from the field. We had a throwback screen. They got one guy over there. We got a blocker, and the guy catch the ball. Didn't work. Their guy played through the blocker. We broke the tackle. One other guy who rushed, we didn't block, who was supposed to, and he makes the play. That's a bad call. If you do it right and the guy walks in the end zone, everybody's going, wow, man, that's a great call. You really got some cojones. That's just the way the game works. And, it's not like our defensive coaches go into the game. We realize we haven't been very good in that deal. We talked about it again this morning and went through some more scenarios and some stuff. But you're not going to reinvent the wheel. I mean, you try to put in a package and you go play. And, we're not the first team that's happened to. I think it happened the week before against Florida State. Sometimes it happens, sometimes it don't.
More questions for Coach Johnson?
I guess sort of on the bright side of things, defensively, overall, you're playing much better than you played the last few years.
Yeah.
I mean, you take away the end of half drives and all the games, you're playing really great on defense. But I imagine it has to be encouraging for you halfway through the season to see a lot of 3-and-outs and opportunities.
I think clearly we've played better on defense than probably the last couple of years. But that's not the goal. We want to be even better, And we've played some really good games on defense and some games that weren't good, just like on offense. I mean, hey, we didn't exactly light it up in the second half on offense either. Now, I can look at the tape and I can tell you what I think happened, but if I do, it'll be because I'm making excuses. So I'll just let you all figure it out. But it happens sometimes. You know, I was talking to Mark before the game, and he was talking about, he said, sometimes people don't realize, I think he was talking about their Florida State game. He said, sometimes people don't realize the other team's got good defenses too. You know, it's so that's the way it works. Old guy, wise guy told me one time, it's been pretty true. Every Saturday, 50% of the teams will win and 50% will lose. It's just kind of the way it works.
We didn't ask about it earlier, but Andrew Marshall being out for the season, just what are your thoughts about just that for him? And do you know of what his plans are going forward for next year?
We're going to sit down and visit probably this week sometime. It's disappointing for him. I know he'd worked really hard in the off season to try to get ready to play his senior year. He's got a lot of options because he's going to have his degree. And, you know, Andrew's a pretty sharp guy, and I'm sure he'll have a plan for what he wants to do, and I'll support him with whatever that is.